I'm 88 years old. There isn't much left I'm waiting for anymore. And that's why I'm finally saying this out loud. Most days are quiet now. Not the peaceful kind of quiet people imagine when they talk about old age, but the kind where the house feels like it's holding its breath. I sit by the window in the mornings because the light still reaches that spot, and because it gives me something to face. The mirror doesn't help anymore. The mirror only reminds me how much time has passed. There's one truth I ignored my whole life. Not because I was careless, not because I didn't care, but because I thought I had time. I don't say this for sympathy. I don't need anyone to tell me it's okay. It's not. But it is true, and truth matters more to me now than comfort. When you're my age, you stop pretending the past can be rearranged. I used to believe life would slow down on its own, that eventually things would settle and I'd finally get around to what mattered. I didn't rush. I didn't panic. I just kept moving forward, assuming clarity would arrive later, like retirement checks or gray hair. In my 20s, I felt responsible. That's the word I used. Responsible sounded noble. It sounded like maturity. I had a job that paid enough, not much more. I showed up early. I stayed late. I learned how to nod at the right moments in meetings and how to keep my mouth shut when it mattered. People trusted me. That felt good. I told myself I was building something. I got married young. She had a quiet laugh and a way of folding laundry that made it look like a ritual instead of a chore. We talked about traveling someday. We talked about slowing down someday. We talked about how life would look once things were set. That word came up a lot. Set. We weren't unhappy. That's important to say. We weren't miserable. We were functional, comfortable, busy, always busy. I missed dinners without meaning to. I missed birthdays by hours, not days, which somehow felt forgivable at the time. I told myself presents could be made up for with explanations. I believed good intentions could replace attention. When she'd say, "You're always tired," I thought she meant physically. I didn't hear what she was actually saying. Years passed the way years do, quietly, no alarms, no announcements, just seasons changing and calendars thinning. I had children. I was proud. I provided. I worked harder. That felt like love to me then. I didn't understand that love can't always be measured by effort alone. I told myself I'd show up more once things stabilized, once promotions were done, once the house was paid off, once the kids were older, once I was less needed somewhere else. I didn't notice how often once became my favorite word. The cost didn't arrive all at once. That's the part people don't warn you about. There was no single disaster, no moment where everything collapsed. It was more like water wearing down stone, slow, patient, unnoticed. A school play I skipped because of a deadline. A conversation postponed because I was distracted. A vacation shortened because I couldn't unplug. Each choice made sense on its own. That's what makes this so dangerous. You don't feel like you're ruining anything while it's happening. I remember coming home one night and finding my wife already asleep on the couch. The television was still on. I stood there for a while, keys in my hand, watching her chest rise and fall. I remember thinking I should wake her and move her to bed. Instead, I turned off the TV and let her sleep. I told myself I was being considerate. I didn't realize how many moments I'd already let pass quietly like that. The children grew into themselves without asking my permission. They stopped reaching for me as much. They stopped waiting. I mistook that for independence. I didn't see it for what it was, adaptation. They learned who I was available to be. By the time I noticed the distance, it felt impolite to point it out. The turning point didn't come with drama. It came with paperwork. My wife got sick in a way that didn't feel urgent at first. Tests, appointments, waiting rooms with old magazines and uncomfortable chairs. I still worked. I still answered emails. I still believed things could be balanced. One afternoon, she asked me to sit with her longer. I told her I had a call I couldn't miss. I kissed her forehead and said I'd be back soon. She didn't argue, she just nodded. That was the last full conversation we ever had. When she died, people said all the right things. They talked about our years together, about commitment, about how well I'd taken care of things. Someone said, "At least you know you did your best." I nodded then too. It was easier than correcting them. Grief isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just heavy. It settles into the corners of your life and stays there. It shows up when you reach for someone who isn't there anymore, when you realize there's no one left who remembers you the way you were at your best. I kept thinking about that afternoon, about how calm she was, about how easily I left. I don't think she blamed me. That almost makes it worse. After she was gone, the structure I'd built my life around stopped making sense. Work didn't fill the space the way I thought it would. Retirement came quietly, without applause. The phone rang less, then hardly at all. I used to imagine old age as a reward. Rest, reflection, time to enjoy what I'd built. What I didn't expect was how empty success feels when there's no one left to share it with. Some of the people I worked with don't remember me now. Some of the projects I sacrificed evenings for don't exist anymore. Companies change names, buildings get sold, effort disappears faster than you think. What stays are the conversations you didn't have, the hands you didn't hold long enough, the rooms that feel too quiet. I see my children sometimes. They're kind, they're busy, they have lives. They ask how I'm doing. I give short answers so they don't worry. I can feel the distance, even when we're sitting at the same table. This is the part that's hardest to admit. I thought being needed made me important. I didn't understand that being present is what makes you remembered. There are things that can't be fixed now. Not because anyone is cruel, but because time doesn't negotiate. You don't get to reopen doors just because you finally understand what was on the other side. I can't go back and sit through that school play. I can't take that extra walk with my wife. I can't explain myself to the younger version of me who thought he was doing the right thing. All I can do is sit with the truth. The truth is simple, and that's what makes it painful. I believed there would always be more time, not in a dramatic way. I didn't think I was immortal. I just assumed tomorrow would be flexible, that people would wait, that moments could be rescheduled. They can't. If you're listening to this, I don't know where you are in your life. I don't know what you're juggling or what you're trying to hold together. I won't tell you what to do. I wouldn't trust advice from an old man who learned too late. But I will tell you what I wish I had known. Nothing you're chasing will remember you the way a person does. Nothing you complete will miss you when you're gone. And nothing you delay will feel smaller later. Presence doesn't announce itself as important while it's happening. It feels ordinary. That's why it's easy to trade away. One day, ordinary becomes priceless. I don't hate my life. I'm grateful for parts of it. I had moments of joy. I laughed. I learned. I loved, even if imperfectly. But I do live with the knowledge that I mistook urgency for meaning and duty for devotion. That mistake doesn't scream. It whispers. It follows you into old age and sits beside you in the quiet. I don't have many years left. That's not sadness. It's just fact. I've made peace with most of it. But there are nights when I replay small moments and wonder who I would have been if I had understood sooner. Maybe that's why I'm saying this now. Not to undo anything, just to leave the truth where someone else might find it. If this meant something to you, hold on to it gently. You don't need to act dramatically. Just notice the moments that don't ask for much, but give you everything. I'll be here, by the window, doing the same.